Hi, this is VTG Part 3. This is Beyond VTG 3D and Anomalies. So in this class we talked about two grids, the plus grid and the X grid. So the plus grid has a couple concepts that are interesting to play with in it. So the plus grid essentially is this plane plus your wall plane, right? So in VTG Part 1 we had these patterns where we had hybrids with the clubs, right? So this would be isolation versus horizontal cat-eye, and throughout this entire video I will be permuting it and kind of changing it with these concepts. So there's this concept of what's called a pop-out. So a pop-out is when you change the plane of the prop partway through a cycle of the pattern to kind of pop it out, right? A better one actually to demonstrate what that would be this pattern, right? This is extension versus vertical cat-eye. So you can pop it out, and then you can continue another pattern with the same pattern. So then that idea can also be used for turning. So if I pop out, I can continue to turn that plane, and then I can continue the pattern once I get back to my original position. And then there's also the concept of atomics. So what atomics are is when you move both your arms in different planes during a pattern. So in atomics there are three timing directions. There's tog L, split L, and infinite L. So L refers to this hand position where your hands are forming an L shape. So together L is when your arms are not in L, your arms are together. Split L is when your arms, when they're not in L, they're split. And infinite L is when your arms are always in L. So let's demonstrate that. So together L looks like this. So together L, together L, together L, together L. You can kind of see how it gets its name. Split L looks like this. Split L, split L, split L, split L. Again, you can kind of see how it gets its name. And infinite L looks like this. So L, 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 always L. So that's infinite L. So a good way, so basically the exercise I was doing earlier was that I want you to find a 2D hybrid pattern and kind of change it in these ways, kind of make it using these principles. So for example, if I were to do a together L hybrid, it would look something like this. Right? So you would just kind of do all of VTG in this way, and you can get a bunch of cool new patterns. So that's the 3D part of this class, and then the anomalies part was talking about a couple of different new pseudo VTG ideas. So those are the rocket, which is a move that involves moving a prop tangent to the curve of the circle. And that has two versions. That has the proplet version that I was just doing, and also a hand-led version. And you can do that versus other patterns. Like you do it versus, let's say, an isolation. And what that does is it creates a right angle pattern all the way through.
This is analogous to a stall chaser.
And then you have figure eights, which are these guys. So there's also two versions: hand-led, prop-led. Hand-led looks, prop-led looks like this, and then hand-led looks like this. So by led, I just mean that the hand or the head is kind of like the leading edge of the pattern versus the trailing edge of the pattern. Cool. So a cool pattern in the figure eight or the fish is when you do it in split up. So I start here. I can do fish and split up. Cool. And then you can do the fish versus other patterns too, although it gets kind of like crazy because the timing direction is like just nonsense. So you can do it like versus isolations or something, and like you can use it as an interesting transition point to other patterns, and then kind of like phase it back into it, and it just kind of like does its thing. Another thing you do with figure eight is you can bend it. So you can do these kind of things where you're doing, a normal 4-plane spin, and then you kind of bend it into the figure 8. And lastly, there are slides and R-types, which involve taking a pattern and just drawing kind of like lines like along the grid of your prop. So you can be doing patterns, and then you can change them into other timing and directions, or prop basing simply by, sliding a prop into a new position. Cool.